It's time for St. Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.
Hello and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I'm your host, Nival Auguste. In this edition, St. Lucia kicks off its 47th Independence Anniversary celebrations, and the vibrant St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is officially underway. St. Lucia is gearing up to celebrate its 47th anniversary of independence under the theme Devant Ensemble, Nourishing Our People, Strengthening Our Nation. From community events and national awards to a baton relay and fireworks, the nation readies for a full month of festivities. More in this report. St. Lucia has officially begun the countdown to its 47th anniversary of independence. The 2026 independence theme, Devant Ensemble, Nourishing Our People, Strengthening Our Nation, places strong emphasis on health, unity, and inclusive national development. Independence Planning Committee co-chair Augustus de Gazon explained that it reflects the country's ongoing journey beyond political independence.
These words are more than a slogan. They are a call to action. They remind us that progress is not achieved in isolation and that a nation grows strong only when its people are healthy, supported, and working together. It also speaks directly to that journey of growth and transformation. It reminds us that independence is not a single moment in history, but a continuous process, one that calls us to move forward together, guided by shared purpose and collective responsibility.
The Independence 47 logo, designed by young creative Jada Kedu, was unveiled during the launch. Kedu said the design reflects unity, resilience, modernization, and the role of youth in shaping the country's future.
The pics within this logo represents what makes St. Lucia truly special: our resilient people and our twin petals. Interlocking forms reflect unity, shared direction, and a collective national journey where every part depends on another. The forward flow also reflects modernization and digital transformation, embracing progress, innovation, and exploring new ways to move this nation forward while staying connected as one people.
A packed national program is designed to engage communities, honor achievements, and celebrate culture. Among the major events are the National Awards of Excellence on January 28th, followed by the 44th National Sports Awards on February 14th. On February 20th, St. Lucians are invited to participate in the Praise and Worship Ecumenical Service, National Commerce Day, and the St. Lucia Independence Business Expo, which runs through February 21st. A major highlight of the season is the National Independence Battle Relay, which began on January 28th in Castries East and travels through all 17 constituencies over 18 days. The celebrations intensify on Saturday, February 21st, with the official flag-raising ceremony and fireworks, according to the consultant at the Department of Local Government, Yasmin Steele.
The National Independence Battle Relay culminates on the evening of the 21st of February with the national flag-raising ceremony and the display of fireworks. This event takes place in 4 constituencies around the island. It takes place in Castries Central, Grosley, Vieux-Fort, and Soufrière. This is an absolutely free event. All St. Lucians are asked to come, to enjoy, and at midnight, we will raise our flag and usher in our 47th anniversary of independence.
Additional activities include the Seafood Festival at the Castries Fisheries Complex, Independence Drags in Vieux-Fort, National Service Day, and the Investiture Ceremony. Meanwhile, Export St. Lucia confirmed the return of the National Independence Business Expo in Viewfort, featuring up to 80 local businesses, a night market, cultural performances, cooking demonstrations using local foods, and participation from international buyers. Schedules, highlights, and updates are available via the official 758 independent social media platforms. Reporting from the Government Information Service, I am Nival Oigist. In related developments, the National Independence Battle Relay has begun. The passing of the baton symbolizes the importance of the contributions of every St. Lucian to national development. Claudia Monlouis reports.
St. Lucia officially launched the National Independence Battle Relay on Wednesday, January 28th, marking the countdown to the island's 47th Independence Day celebrations on January 22, 2026. Minister for Housing, the Honorable Richard Frederick, remarked that the event highlighted the spirit of national pride, unity, and community engagement that defines the island's rich cultural heritage.
And like I said, this is one event where unsung heroes are taken out of their locality and given a national acclaim. This is the event when you go into those various pockets of the communities which seemingly are hidden. We can now expose and bring to light the rich history that some of those communities have endured or endure.
The 2026 Battle Relay, which began in Castries East, saw Prime Minister Honorable Philippe J. Pierre, who is the MP for Castries East, endorsing the event and then carrying the baton for a short while. He emphasized that the relay celebrates not only St. Lucia's history, but also the contributions of everyday St. Lucians to the nation's growth and development. In Castries East, the baton was dedicated to Mr. Rupert Martin Polius, a distinguished former outstanding athlete and cricketer who held several leadership positions during his career.
It has brought a lot of talent. A lot of talent has come out of that event. Lots of talent. People who you never knew. I see Mrs. Demars. Mrs. Demars is an old friend of my mother who taught together with her. Mrs. Demars is 93 years. Give Mrs. Demars a round of applause also. And Mrs. Demars can come out to take part in the battle relay. I see Miss Nusenkwa. I see my friend Mrs. Obertin. Again, people who worked for the country and they are here. People you have to celebrate. People who are unsung heroes. We only know about a few people we see on TV, but these people are the ones who've made this country what it is. So I want to thank them for their contribution.
The relay will traverse all 17 constituencies, providing residents across the island the opportunity to participate in this symbolic journey. Officials encourage the public to engage with the baton relay, attend scheduled events along its routes, and take part in the wider independence celebrations, which include the Independence Business Expo, concerts, sporting activities, and the national flag-raising ceremony. Residents are also advised to plan accordingly for traffic changes as the baton makes its way through key towns and neighborhoods. As the nation commemorates another year of sovereignty and shared progress, the official theme for St. Lucia's 2026 Independence celebrations is D'ouvre a Somme, nourishing our people, strengthening our nation. For the Government Information Service, I am Claudia Monlouis.
The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival was launched on January 22nd with a new focus of lifestyle experiences. Claudia Monlouis has more.
The 34th edition of the iconic music and arts event was officially launched before a hybrid audience of in-person and online attendees. Chief Executive Officer of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Louis Lewis, says the festival is being reimagined as more than just a music event, but as a lifestyle experience that reflects the island's culture and creative energy. Mr. Lewis explained that a new storytelling strategy driven by social media influencers will be used to showcase St. Lucia through authentic, lived experiences, helping to market the festival in a fresh and engaging way.
As part of this expanding storytelling strategy, we have rolled out an influencer familiarization tour, welcoming digital creators from across the Caribbean, from the United States, from the United Kingdom, from Europe. These creators will experience St. Lucia beyond the stage, and the stage in the context of the Jazz Festival. And they will experience St. Lucia by experiencing our heritage, our cuisine, our landscapes, our people, our creative energy, and they will share authentic, immersive content with all their global audiences.
According to Lewis, the recent St. Lucia Jazz launch in London helped set the tone for the festival's global marketing campaign, which this year carries the theme Timeless Rhythms, Boundless Artistry. Some of the artists include household names like Billy Ocean, Capleton, Lou City, Dexter Daps, and headliner Thames, among many other renowned acts. While speaking at the media launch of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival on January 22nd at the Sandals Resort and Spa, Minister Ernest Healy emphasized that the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is designed to benefit the island's communities, ensuring that locals and creatives alike are at the heart of the event. In his brief remarks, the minister echoed the sentiment that the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival is more than just a series of concerts. It is a celebration of culture, community, and creativity. He pointed out that community jazz events, which run alongside the main festival performances, provide a platform for St. Lucian artists to showcase their skills, collaborate, and engage directly with both residents and visitors.
This festival has been more than a series of performances. It has been a powerful expression of our identity, a showcase of our creativity, and a platform through which St. Lucia shares its soul with the world. It brings together culture, tourism, and economic opportunity, supporting musicians, artists, designers, technicians, vendors, and communities, while generating employment, stimulating business activity, and strengthening our position as a destination of depth and authenticity.
Minister Healy added that the festival's tagline this year reflects not only its rich musical heritage, but also its commitment to community inclusion and the nurturing of homegrown talent. This year's tagline is Timeless Rhythms, Boundless Artistry. Closing his remarks, the minister encouraged all St. Lucians to take part in the festival, whether as attendees, performers, or collaborators, ensuring that St. Lucia Jazz remains both a global attraction and a source of national pride. For the Government Information Service, I am Claudia Monlouis.
Up next, the St. Lucia Fire Service has strengthened its emergency response capabilities with new specialized equipment. We'll have the full story after the break.
Attention everyone, the nomination period for the Jimmy's People's Choice is now open. This is your chance to honor an unsung hero in the tourism industry. Do you know a tour guide who shares hidden gems? A villa host who made St. Lucia a home away from home? Or perhaps a crafty creator capturing the beauty all around? Nominate them now as we celebrate world-class service in tourism. Visit stlucia.org/Jimmy's. Nominations end December 19th, 2025. Nominate today. Jimmy's 2025. Journey to Excellence.
Welcome back. The St. Lucia Fire Service has strengthened its emergency response capabilities with the donation of specialized radiation detection and safety equipment. The handover, facilitated by the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards and the Regulated Substances Authority, is expected to enhance firefighters' safety during operations involving potentially hazardous materials. Katasha Felix has more in this report.
On Thursday, 22nd January, the St. Lucia Fire Service were the recipients of sensors and safety equipment that will aid them in securing and executing safe operations in areas that may be contaminated with radioactive substances. Present at the handover was Mr. Vern Emmanuel, Director of St. Lucia Bureau of Standards. SLBS is the interim regulator of radiation safety. Mr. Dylan Norbert Inglis, Chief Executive Officer of the Regulated Substances Authority, and Mr. Shane Williams of the St. Lucia Fire Service.
Today we're handing over survey meters along with radiation detectors and identifiers, and we will conduct a further training session on how to use all of this equipment, which will be done by the RSA in collaboration with the SLBS, with the interim regulator.
Mr. Shane Williams has received training from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, on radiation safety procedures and methods. Also supervising the handover was Minister in the Ministry of Commerce, Honorable John Paul Estefan. The SLBS and RSA both fall under the Ministry of Commerce. St. Lucia is a member of IAEA and has been taking steps to securing and regulating the use of radioactive substances as well as other substances that may be harmful to the environment and public health if used incorrectly. Amongst the sensors donated was an identifier which can detect a wide range of sources from over a safe distance. Personal badge sensors for first responders to ensure levels they are being exposed to does not pass a certain threshold in an emergency exposure. Included in the donated equipment were protective sealed masks to prevent breathing in harmful particles. The St. Lucia Fire Service expressed their thanks and indicated their appreciation and hope in integrating the use of the devices.
On behalf of the Chief Fire Officer, Deputy Chief Fire Officer, and the other ranks of the St. Lucia Fire Service, I would like to thank the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards for facilitating this donation to the St. Lucia Fire Service. We are always looking to expand our horizons in terms of the training that we offer our officers so that they could be better prepared out there. So once again, I want to thank all of the persons involved. I know the Regulatory Substance Authority as well as the Ministry of Commerce through you, Mr. Minister. So we want to thank you very much because, as you may well know, our budget is kind of small, so we welcome all donations and we look forward to working with you in the future to providing more of this necessary and relevant equipment. So once again, thank you all.
This is Katasha Felix for the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards.
A new reporting system aimed at improving early detection of public health risks is now in place. The Ministry of Health has officially launched its event-based surveillance system designed to ensure faster, more coordinated responses to unusual health events across St. Lucia. Fennel Neptune has the details.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition has now taken a proactive approach to detect and respond to potential and emerging health risks following the launch of the Event-Based Surveillance EBS system. This system will assist the Ministry with the collection and investigation of reports regarding unusual health events from healthcare workers and the community. National epidemiologist Dr. Michel Versois highlighted the importance of launching this event-based surveillance system, which will better support the ministry in its efforts to respond rapidly to public health threats before it escalates.
We noted that the public, they have been reporting to us and we appreciate that. However, there wasn't a structured reporting mechanism in place for them to do so. So what you would have is persons calling into the ministry, or they're talking to a friend of a friend who works at the ministry to get that information to us. And unfortunately, sometimes that information would not reach the right place. And so with this system, we have created a reporting mechanism or a structure whereby the public can report any events or public health concerns that they have directly to the ministry. It is confidential and we can act upon it.
Dr. Michelle Versois also spoke on the crucial role of the community in surveillance and monitoring of unusual public events.
It incorporates the community, and the information comes from community members. So it starts with, for example, a parent at a school. If you notice you dropping your child off to school and you notice that, for the last few weeks, several children have been absent, you can call and notify the Ministry of Health, and we can launch an investigation. So what is happening? Why that high level of absenteeism at the schools? It may be unrelated, but certainly it warrants an investigation. It could be you walking on the beach and you notice dead animals, dead birds, for example, on the beach. That is something unusual for you. So you report it to the ministry and we contact the relevant officials. It may be other ministries, because using this system, we bring different ministries and different units together. So we have a more holistic approach to our response as well.
Effective February 2nd, a community member can report a public health threat or unusual event by calling 311 from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This service is free and all information will be kept confidential. Reporting from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition, I am Fernal Neptune.
Coming up next, home caregivers under the Ministry of Health are receiving specialized training in palliative care. We'll be right back.
Saint-Lucie, S.O.P.A.W.E. pour les 4e l'année Jimmy's là, puis Tourist Board Saint-Lucie. À présent, c'est un bon temps pour reconnaître c'est ça qui plaît bon en industrie touriste là. Nomination ouverte à présent, JICTA, le 29 décembre 2025. Adieu, allez stlucia.org/Jimmy's et nominé Jordia Jimmy's 2025, là-haut, excellence.
Welcome back. Home caregivers under the Ministry of Health are receiving specialized training in palliative care as part of the Universal Health Coverage Project. The initiative aims to improve the quality of life for patients living with chronic and life-limiting illnesses while strengthening support for caregivers across the island. Jade Brown tells us more.
Through the Universal Health Coverage Project of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition, staff of the Home Caregivers Program will receive palliative care training. Palliative care is a specialized medical approach aimed at improving the quality of life for patients facing serious, chronic, or life-limiting illnesses. The need for palliative care in St. Lucia is increasingly urgent due to demographic changes, the prevalence of non-communicable diseases, and existing gaps in healthcare infrastructure. St. Lucia, like many Caribbean nations, is experiencing a rise in non-communicable diseases such as cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and respiratory conditions. These illnesses often require long-term management and can profoundly affect patients' physical, emotional, and social well-being. Dr. Alicia Eugene Ford, Director of Health, speaks on the timeliness of the workshop and the continued implementation of universal health coverage in St. Lucia.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition received a request from the Ministry of Equity to train the recently appointed home caregivers in palliative care under universal health coverage. The palliative care training, Ministry of Health, we started this from last year, but this year we've made the agenda even more robust, where we have health care practitioners from the private sector coming on board, the public sector, from primary healthcare level, the hospital, etc., coming together under the leadership of Dr. Owen Gabriel to be able to provide a robust palliative care agenda or program for the home caregivers.
This is part of the UHC agenda to provide promotive, preventive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative health services that the public needs.
Universal health coverage, we know that a lot has to do with prevention, but it also takes into consideration promotion, prevention, treatment, rehabilitation, and palliative care. And in palliative care, what we really want is for persons to live longer, as comfortably as possible and as healthy as possible. So this agenda will allow the home caregivers to be well trained, to take care of their clients and also take care of themselves when they do the good work that they're actually engaged to do.
In 2025, 2 caregiver palliative care capacity building workshops were successfully conducted. Coming out of the overwhelming achievements of these, a third workshop was held for healthcare professionals. In the latter, experts and palliative care professionals from Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School stood alongside local consultant oncologist and palliative care physician Dr. Owen Gabriel, as well as consultant geriatrician Dr. Beverly Gabriel from Lancaster, Pennsylvania Veterans Hospital, USA. Now, in 2016, Dr. Gabriel is back to conduct a further 4 days of training.
Today is day 1 of what I think will be an historic occasion in St. Lucia. We applaud the efforts of Universal Health Coverage and the Ministry of Health for continuing this training of elderly caregivers, which began last year, and the introduction of palliative care in St. Lucia. So what we intend to do is to engage palliative care practitioners and elderly caregivers on the island to train them on the day-to-day skills and techniques that must be used in order to achieve quality outcomes in our elderly patients. One of the objectives will be to enhance their skills and also to reduce the readmissions to our hospitals and therefore reduce the burden on our emergency rooms and our wards.
Mildred Joseph is a participant of the palliative training workshop. She says this initiative is timely as the permanent staff of the home health program require continued support through training opportunities.
Education is never too much, and every day you get to know new things about the elderly because that is important. I know for sure my colleagues will definitely take in what is being taught throughout this training, okay, because it is important. The more they learn, the more they can execute on their duties to the elderly. That is important.
The workshop aims to enhance caregivers' understanding of best practices, promote patient dignity, and foster a supportive care environment. Jade Brown, Universal Health Coverage.
Residents of Ancillary are taking action to protect their community from environmental health risks. In collaboration with the Ministry of Health, a community cleanup and education campaign was launched to curb mosquito and rodent breeding. Fennel Neptune has the details.
The Environmental Health Division within the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition recently partnered with residents of Ancillary to undertake an intensive source reduction and community cleanup campaign aimed at eliminating mosquito and rodent breeding sites. This initiative comes amid growing concerns over an increase in mosquito and vector breeding sites identified throughout the community. According to Glenda Etienne Sipal, Senior Environmental Health Officer, the ministry aims to reduce the spread of vector-borne and rodent-related diseases by addressing these risks before the onset of the rainy season.
Our purpose for being in the village is to identify any factors, any item with the potential to either breed mosquitoes or to breed rats in an effort to remove it from the community. We're taking this initiative on ahead of the rainy season because we know that during the rainy season we see an increase in mosquitoes and rats, and by extension we see the diseases that they spread. So we engage the community members in education campaigns. We went to the schools, we had community meetings so that people could be well informed about today.
As part of the ministry's continued push to reduce mosquito and rodent breeding, residents are being urged to take greater responsibility for how and when garbage is disposed of.
So we're asking people to be a bit more considerate, especially in the way that they put their garbage out. Do not put it out before the garbage truck passes so early that the dogs get into it or other scavengers get into it. Be mindful of putting your bulk waste out. Putting your bulk waste out and not disposing them accurately causes them to breed vectors.
For one resident, the initiative highlighted how collective action can lay the foundation for a cleaner, more developed community that everyone can take pride in.
It has brought us together. And then it shows that if we can do this little to help keep our environment clean, there are so many more things that we can do together. We can help in terms of painting our community, developing it, and we're looking at our development plan in the future. So there are so many things that we can do together. So it's necessary for our community, all of us, to pull our resources, our skills and our talents together so that we can make this village the place that people can love and enjoy.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition continues to encourage all communities to take similar proactive steps to reduce environmental health risk, emphasizing that prevention begins at home and is strengthened through collective action. Reporting from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition, I am Fernal Neptune.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to this production, the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communication officers across government ministries. Thank you for watching NTN Channel 122 and following the official social media platforms of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Nivalo Geist. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue tracking St. Lucia's progress.